March 27, 2000, and was welcomed into the arms of our Lord and Savior, Jesus, on Tuesday, June 10th. But this is not a time to dwell on her passing, which is just a fleeting moment, but rather to celebrate the countless moments that made up her beautiful life. Vivian's life was a brilliant tapestry of passion, creativity, and fearless triumph. When she was born, we didn't fully grasp the significance of her name. Vivian means lively or full of life, and her middle name, Louise, means famous warrior. True to her name, this feisty little girl, born 6.5 weeks early, weighing just 2 pounds 11 ounces, was determined to leave her mark on the world. She decided she wanted to be first, and so became her firstborn, and the proud big sister to her twin brother Daniel. As a joke, we once told our parents we should call Vivian and Daniel Minnie and Mickey. Even before coming home from the NICU, Vivian began winning hearts. First those of her parents, then her grandparents, the hospital staff, then friends and everyone who met her. She wasn't always a happy baby, and she did love sharing the spotlight with her brother. As you can see from these pictures, their silly rivalry was never one of resentment, but rather of mutual love, pushing each other towards greatness. As days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years, we celebrated life's milestones, birthdays, anniversaries, and special events. When Vivian was about 3 years old, we learned something that made her even more unique. She was diagnosed with Cornelia de Lange syndrome. This explained why she was smaller, but it never defined her. In July of 2003, Vivian started school at Bancroft, where she continued capturing hearts with her radiant smile and mischievous spirit. As years progressed, she graduated from Bancroft to Kingsway Learning Center. There she would remain until her graduation in 2022. Each year she would have new teachers, assistants, and classmates, expanding her circle of friends. The day after her 5th birthday in 2005, Vivian became a big sister to another brother, Matthew. Like Daniel, she was happy for another sibling to bond with. Our family loved vacations, especially trips to Disney and cruises. Nothing stopped us from creating unforgettable experiences together. On one of these trips, Vivian showed a particular fixation on a character's nose. I recall it being the chipmunk Chip's nose. So began the fascination and long-running joke about noses. Also from an early age, music flowed through her veins. As a little girl, she was entranced by the magic of classical composers, Mozart, Bach, Beethoven, and others, alongside the playful wonders of baby Einstein videos. It wasn't simply about melodies, it was a declaration of who she was. Music, like her deep affection for the colors purple and blue, colored every experience, every relationship, and every moment of joy, from humming church songs to sharing Christmas tunes year-round. Her mischievous spirit and clever wit always shone through. Whether she was demanding attention in class with her playful antics or outsmarting complicated systems, ordering a full Panera meal with a perfect coupon, tweaking her little brother's Nintendo DS, or outsmarting a Build-A-Bear console, Vivian demonstrated an inventive intelligence that was as surprising as it was brilliant. Each clever hack and every crafty shortcut were not acts of simple mischief, but declarations of her unique gift for problem solving, a reminder that her mind was as boundless as her spirit.
But Vivian's vigor wasn't confined by screens or systems. Her adventures in life were physical as well as intellectual. She embraced every opportunity to explore, whether it was conquering hiking trails, navigating the thrills of Disney with endless strides, or challenging herself on narrow catwalks that soared high above the ground. Even challenges brought on by her diagnosis were met with a resolve that transformed obstacles into opportunities. She never let anything hold her back from experiencing the world to its fullest extent. Vivian had a deep love for all food, finding satisfaction in every dish she encountered, but chocolate had a special place in her heart, turning any moment into something sweeter. From the very beginning, sign language was one of Vivian's ways of communicating. Long before she could string together a sentence, we would sign. As we got older, she would grow her ASL vocabulary with help from me and my brother, coming up with nicknames, silly phrases, or just finding the words to describe the things she noticed in the world around her. Vivian didn't just stop with ASL and English though. She was a dedicated YouTube watcher, often putting on videos in languages none of us spoke, but we all swear she was probably fluent in half a dozen different languages just from watching those videos. Life had many chapters for Vivian. From her early days joining the Girl Scouts and Special Olympics, weaving her life into a vibrant network of friends and family, to traveling far beyond borders, visiting countries in Central and South America, Europe, Asia, and even Bestemor's farm in Norway. Her journey was one of continuous exploration and heartfelt connection. And as the years unfolded, she embraced every new experience, celebrating at proms, probably walking across the stage in her graduation, and even weathering through a global challenge like COVID with a resilient smile. In her later years, Vivian's creativity blossomed in new directions, starting with weekly craft activities at Lowe's, to crafting mosaic and unique pieces of art at the local library. She transformed her love for color and design into tangible keepsakes that she proudly signed, sharing her vibrant soul with the community. From day programs to respite nights, and shining brightly at events like Night to Shine, every moment was a tribute to her tireless spirit and a celebration of the richness of her relationships.
Above all, Vivian's journey was illuminated by her constant striving to make every day meaningful. Whether it was through the confident swing of her hair, always just the way she wanted it, or the steady, determined steps she took on every adventure. She taught everyone around her that life is a brilliant mosaic of victories, big and small. Vivian's vibrant life continues to inspire us to seek beauty in every challenge, love boldly in every moment, and live with a joyful sense of wonder. Her achievements and victories remind us that every heartbeat is an invitation to share love, shout praise, and create art out of life, one courageous step at a time.
I'd like to share just a couple of my favorite memories when living and going on vacation with Vivian. Though she could rarely do it, Vivian always loved driving when given the opportunity. Whether it was a golf cart or a Jeep on a bumpy gravel trail, she always had a joy for driving. One of my favorite memories of Vivian driving is when she got into the driver's seat, the Jeep, just for a photo, and she started putting her seatbelt on, closing the door, and started locking everyone out of the car. She was determined to start driving and keep us all out. Luckily, we still had the keys, so they were able to get back in. She was determined to drive. Another one of my favorite stories that comes to mind is, for Christmas one year, Dana got most of the piggies that would be given out later today. She loved opening them and seeing all the piggies, squeaking them, and having them dumped on her when she first got them. Dana would also play around them, having them go on a toy cruise ship, walking the plank that tried sneaking into the kids' club. Later on, we would take at least one pig whenever we went on vacation. She would usually use them as like a stress ball, but on this past trip, she grew especially fond with the pig and called it Ham. She demanded to see it every day. These are just a few memories we shared with Vivian, and a few minutes, we invite anyone to share any experience they had with Vivian, whether it was happy, funny, or even sad. We would love hearing experiences you all shared with her.
Vivian loved her family of 5, but she was blessed with so many more families. Her extended family, her Grace and Peace Chapel family, her Girl Scout family, her Boy Scout family, her band family, her PTO family, her Kingsway family, her Bordentown family, her Special Olympics family, her Elks family, her Wellington Woods family. Thank you for being here, and thank you for making our Vivian part of your family.
If anyone has a story about Vivian they'd like to tell, one of my earliest memories of her, she must have been, I don't know, 7 or 8. And we were at a reception, some wedding reception, and she was bored. And so she sat in my lap. It was her idea to sit in my lap. And I sang her some old folk songs. And we just snuggled like that, must have been for half an hour at least. It's just a great memory. So if anyone else has something to say, I think the acoustics in here are good enough that maybe you could just stand up and talk loud and you should be able to tell what you know.
And I am one who loves microphones. Love a microphone, and you can't get me away from karaoke. Hello, my name is Barbara, and I work at the Bordentown Library. And Vivian would come to the library for craft events. Some of the ones that I may have facilitated or other staff members have facilitated. We loved having Vivian. We just loved having her there. And some of the crafts events, she might have been the only one there, and that was fine, because she got all to make as many as she wants. And my memory for her, I don't know if she was teasing me or she really didn't remember, but she always asked for my name. Nah. And I would tell her, Barbara, and then she would say my name, and then, nah. So I think she was just teasing me. Yeah, mom and dad are shaking their head like, yeah, she was just teasing me. We loved having Vivian at the library. She will be greatly missed. And the last program I had, she would have loved, because we were painting ceramics, some stepping stones. I think she would have loved that. And they were metallic colors, so it would have been really cool for her. So I will think of her when I do my next craft programs at the library. Thank you.
I know what you mean by Vivian wanting to sit in your lap, but you had no choice. And that's the one thing I really love about Vivian. I'll definitely miss. I went to church, the same church as Vivian used to go every Sundays. So she would come slowly to me, shy, for a hug. Sometimes her dad would send her, but sometimes she would come on her own. She gave the sweetest, most innocent hugs possible. That's my best memory about her.
We're going to come up.
We decided to come up and use the microphone so you can hear us. So I was just at a wedding, and one of the guys was reading a poem, and he read this beautiful poem, and he said, I can't take credit for it because ChatGPT made it for me. So I thought, what a kind of an interesting thing, and so I got some things. I'm one of the Girl Scout leaders with Debbie, And I got some things from the girls of what they remembered and what they would like to say, and I put it all into ChatGPT, and it made a poem, and I tweaked it a little bit, but I can't take credit for it. But so it says, for our Girl Scout sister Vivian, in loving memory. In the circle of our friendship, one light softly fades, but in our hearts, sweet Vivian, your glow never shades. You lit up each room with your eyes and your smile, bringing us joy with your own special style. We'll remember that giggle, your eyes shining too, after you'd done what you weren't supposed to do. Would it be purple or blue? Only you could say, wearing your color of the day, your very own way. We'd smile and wonder, what color will it be? A joyful surprise you shared cheerfully. A sister in friendship through and through, the love in your heart wasn't meant to just stay. You gave it so freely in your very own way. In each breeze and butterfly, your presence is clear, bringing comfort and peace when we wish you were here. So fly, sweet sister, with comfort and grace. In hearts that remember, you'll never lose place. Forever our sister, forever our friend. The love that you gave will truly never end.
I'm sorry for everyone's loss. We were all heartbroken. I thought of Vivian as one of my little imposh sisters. While we were doing crafts at Girl Scouts, she would always try and take my stuff. She would always sneak pieces away when I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking. Then she would laugh when I would look away. She loved playing tricks on me all the time. I'll never forget when we were at respite, Carrie Ann said to me, or no, Vivian is taking some of the salad. And I said, Vivian Louise, what are you doing? She looked at me and she just had a smile, big as can be, on her face. And continued eating the salad as I yelled at her. I said, what are you doing? She just looked at me like, what, me? She loved wearing purple and blue. I picture her now in a sea of angels, dressed in white, and I see them bringing her purple and blue. Vivian will always remember you.
which one's Papa?
All right, so when Vivian was in school, her elementary years, she was learning differences, small and big. And so while at home, you know, it's good to repeat your lessons you learn. And so she had this artificial diamond, you know, it's plastic, clear and everything, and it was about the size of a baseball bat, like the baseball. And so she's saying big, and then she grabs her mother's hand and looks and she says, little. and there's several other funny stories about how she liked certain colors, yellow and everything. I'm going to let somebody else tell the story about the neighbor's house that was yellow across the street, what she did. And I can't call the other funny thing that she did, but she's always doing something funny, wonderful, and always pick the spirits up. And that's what I'm going to focus on. David, why don't you tell the story?
Hello everyone, my name is Tracy, and I'm a friend of Vivian Dave's from college. I met Vivian soon after she came home from the hospital after being born. If my memory serves me correctly, she stayed in the hospital longer than her twin brother Daniel. She was a tiny little peanut. Since then, I've had the privilege of watching Vivian grow up and light up everyone around her. You can see her light shine in every photo, with her unmistakable smile and often her signature princess pose. Like most kids, she loved a little screen time, spending time with her Girl Scout friends, cozying up under her favorite blanket, carrying around her favorite diamond, and delighting in her favorite chocolate lava cake. But there was so much more to Vivian that made her unique and authentically herself. This included her deep love of music. I was particularly touched earlier this year when Dave shared that one of her favorite songs was one from her church. Every time I hear the chicken dance, I always think of Vivian. She also had a playful sense of style, guided by her color of the day. Not to mention her sniff game. Over the years, I've had the pleasure of joining Vivian, Debbie, Dave, Daniel, Matthew, and Debbie's parents on vacation. Vivian absolutely adored all things Disney and any time spent on a cruise ship. As you might imagine, long days of walking or standing might have been tiring for a little girl, but Vivian made the most of it, turning lemons into lemonade by riding high atop Dave's shoulders. It might not have been the most comfortable for him, but it brought Vivian such joy. I hold close the many memories of time spent with Vivian, and while there were many, I'd like to share just a few. One memory I'll always carry is from a trip to Ocho Rios, Jamaica. The excursion of the day was for all of us to hike up a waterfall. I was hesitant, unsure I could make the climb. And then someone pointed ahead, and there was Vivian, already halfway up. Seeing her gave me the courage to keep going. Dave would sometimes joke that Vivian liked to play escapee, which kept everyone on their toes. On one of the cruises, she gave us the biggest fright of our lives when she got lost as we boarded the ship. While everyone looked frantically to find Vivian, was safe and sound, checking out the onboard spa. Watching Vivian earn her multiple Olympic medals was another highlight over the years. It was a testament to her determination, and I couldn't have been more proud of her accomplishments. But by far the most cherished memory was when Miss D called me by name. Thank you, Vivian, for allowing me to be a part of your life.
I just have a few things to get out. Vivian, excuse me, I was Vivian's bus driver, and Carol was her aide. Carol knew Vivian from the age of 3. I took on special ed my last 9 years, and I had Vivian. And we're like her family. The most joyful person, we would sing. She would get the other children that wouldn't sing, just try to sing with us. They were all special ed. You just grow to love Vivian. I could go on forever and ever. And her family was like our family. Her brother, the nicest people you ever want to meet. God bless them all. And God bless, I know Vivian is up in heaven, in the arms of our Lord. I truly, truly believe that's where she is. I could go on and on through the years of Vivian on the bus, but you know, you grew like she belonged to one of us, and she was a year born between her and my one granddaughter. They were so close in age, and we went to fashion shows with our granddaughters and Vivian, and it was just a lot of fun. And when I heard the news from Carol, I just can't go. I don't want to go on anymore, but just, you know what it is. You know how we feel. David, boys, and Debbie, God bless you all again.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's been a long time since I've seen the Comeaus, but Daniel was my first Tiger Cub to make it all the way to Eagle. And you don't know this bigger picture. It's still on my wall in my office. That's how much you and your sister meant to me. Vivi was my dance partner at many scout functions, standing on my feet, swaying back and forth, singing. I was so shocked and sad to hear this, that she had passed, but so encouraged to find out that she didn't know what to do with. That's amazing, because your love and her love will live on forever. So thank you both for that. And thank you, Vivi, for your gift of your life and mine.
Oh, I can't look that way. Yeah, I'll just stand this way. And I'm just, yeah. Then everybody can see my jacket. I wore this today. It's my Disney jacket I have. So I go to Disney. And then the shirt,